Well, hello there. This is Craig Hain, or Dr. Dell, or my students like to call me. And we've just now finished, you have finished the How to Master the TI-30Xa Scientific Calculator. Extremely valuable tool. I call it the $1 million tool. 100 years ago, it would have been worth $1 million. It's $10 today, but extremely powerful. You are now ready to do virtually any arithmetic that you'll need to do very quick and error-free and so on for practical mathematics. And so what's the next thing you do? Now that you've learned to use this tool, you've mastered the tool, what do you do with it? What good is the tool? What's it for? Now, I've hinted at it in past videos. I've discussed it, but I want to talk about it in more detail in this video. And so I'm going to share the screen with you. And of course, we're going to go to my homepage and craighain.com. Now, if you happen to be watching this video and you didn't know about it, I gave away the free $97 gift, which was the empowered you to master this calculator, the TI-30Xa. And I'm assuming now you've done that. This video is the seventh video message in the series. And of course, the reason I call it a $97 gift is for many years, we sold it for $97, the program. And then, and it's the first tier of a 6-tier program. And now that you have finished the 16 lessons and mastered the use of the calculator tool, then the next thing I give you is pre-algebra, and that's still part of your free program. And this really is a review of all the rules of arithmetic you should have learned in elementary school. And if you didn't, you'll learn them now. The only new thing that you should learn here is this y to the x key that I mentioned. It's a very important key on the calculator, lesson number 10. In fact, as a business person, I use this key more than any other key. I love it, the exponential key, and you'll learn about that in pre-algebra. Now the question is, you've mastered the tool, and if you know the rules of arithmetic, you're ready to go. What do? Well, the next thing I would have you do, lay the foundation of practical algebra. Now, this is the algebra that you need in practical technical subjects, military, apprentice programs. You're going to go study hydraulics, pneumatics, electrical, whatever. And there's 10 lessons. Now, it really kind of blows people's mind to think there's only 10 lessons because most algebra books are big, thick books, and they're loaded with all sorts of obsolete manual tools you'll never use. Also, they tend to be loaded with a lot of theoretical material that is irrelevant to you from a practical viewpoint. This is the material you need. And of course, this comes in our Tier 2 program. Now, each one of these is a tutorial lesson from Amazon Web Services, notes, exercises, quizzes, and most students go through this pretty quick. There's only 10 lessons, and most of these lessons, most students can go through these lessons in an hour per lesson very easily. Some do it quicker than that. It depends on your background. Depends on if you're just getting started in math and maybe you're not particularly good at math, then it may take you longer. Maybe take you 2 hours a lesson. But if you maybe you're stronger in math, maybe you learn it quicker, and everybody different. That's why it's self-paced. You take these lessons on your own schedule, and you take as long as you need, and you master each lesson before you go on to the next one. Now, after 10 lessons of algebra, we do practical geometry. Now, this is not like a lot of geometry classes. In a lot of geometry in high schools, they spend a lot of time proving theorems. Nothing wrong with that, but that isn't practical. This is practical. How long should something be? What's the area of something? What's the volume of something? And that's what we discuss. Now, in order to answer those questions, you need algebra. So the algebra and the geometry go together. And students absolutely love it. Now, you might look at all these different topics here. What do you think I think is the most useful and used thing out of all of these things in geometry? Circles and triangles and straight lines and parallel lines and all that, spheres, blocks, cylinders. Well, I'll tell you something. What I've used more than anything in practical problem solving in the technical world, and I've done a lot of it, is G6, similar triangles. Similar triangles are extremely useful. and used throughout practical math. Now, in ordinary geometry, they spend a lot of time proving when two triangles are congruent. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but that's not what I do. How to use these things. And of course, the key to applying the algebra and the geometry is then to do all the arithmetic with a calculator. Makes it quick and easy. And most students, again, go through this very quickly, and it's 19 lessons. Now, we're talking practical math here. Algebra and geometry solve lots and lots and lots of problems, very practical. You're dealing with circles and blocks and cones and cylinders and all that, and spheres. But what if you're dealing with angles? Well, there's a few angles that geometry and algebra can handle: 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees. But there are a lot of angles they can't handle, and you need a subject called trigonometry. Now, remember, I taught you the keys on the calculator: SIN, COS, and TAN. You learn how to use the keys. I didn't tell you what they were, though. Now I'm going to tell you how they're defined and what they mean. The sine key stands for sine of X. What does that mean? And it's applied to angles. Cosine of X, applied to angles. Tangent of X, applied to angles. These are the three important fundamental trig functions that are used throughout practical math. Now, how do you use them to solve problems? Well, there's two things. One is in lesson 6, there's something called the law of sines. That's very useful, very easy to do, by the way. It involves ratios and things. And then the last lesson in trig is law of cosines. I call it the generalized Pythagorean theorem. Back up in geometry, you had the Pythagorean theorem, and most of you have heard of that: right angle and a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If you haven't heard of it, you'll learn about it in geometry. Well, this is a generalized Pythagorean theorem. It's extremely useful, and it will let you solve problems that are really just almost impossible to solve any other way. In fact, I will show you a specific kind of problem once you've gone through trig, this practical trig you can do, that almost nobody can do. And with this calculator, you can do it in less than 1 minute. And boy, if you want to have fun at a party, and if you're dealing with some people that think they're pretty good at math, get your calculator out. I always carry an extra calculator with me. I give them one too. Say, here's a calculator. If you don't have one, I'll give you one to use. And you make up the problem, and I'll show you another video on that. Well, you'll learn about it after you've learned the tricks. So this is practical math. Now you're going to get that if you go to the program that I told you about. If I can get, where's my cursor? There it is. You're going to be able to get this. We used to sell it for $197, but that included tier 1, and this includes tier 1, which you got for free already. Well, we dropped it down to $97. I say limited time special offer. I don't know how much longer we're going to give away the free program. Who knows? And I don't know how much longer we'll keep the price of this into $97. We sold it for years and years and years for $197, and believe me, it's a huge bargain. In fact, one of the things people tell me all the time is, why is it so inexpensive? We've paid so much more for math programs that don't do near as much as yours do. Why is it so? Well, I want a lot of people to have it. I want you to share the free offer with people, and then people will take it up on it. So 97, and some people, if 97's tough, make 6 payments of 17 each. That's all you got to do. Now, in the next video I'm going to tell you then what can come after this even. But backing up to this is tier 2. Now, tier 2 also, as you can imagine, has a set of notes. I'm going to stop sharing, and exercises, but it's thicker. This is 225 pages, as you might imagine it would be. Algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. Now, this is not a textbook. This is notes and exercises that go with the tutorial videos. Don't ever give it to somebody and say, here, go learn math from this. This goes with the tutorial videos and the quizzes and so on. But we used to give out PDF, and they had to print them out, PDF copies. This now is available to you. Guess how much this would be? Probably won't surprise you to find out that it's only about $8. I'm going to share the screen with you again and go back and show you. Come on, Craig. Let me get down here and share the screen. And we'll go to Amazon. Now, As you're going to learn in the next video, there's really a 6-tier program that goes way beyond this, but this gets you ready for the military and the practical math. Tier 1, which you've already done, and I told you could get that book for $5.99. Well, there's 6 tiers altogether. And Tier 2, which is what we're talking about now, and you click on that, is $7.99. So you go get that for $7.99, 225 pages. Now, when you buy the program, you get the free PDF copy, so you can print it out yourself, but most people want to go to Amazon. And by the way, Amazon gets to keep virtually all of that money. I'm not doing this to make money on the book, on the notes and exercises. I'm doing it as a service to you, the customer. Amazon is like this fabulous printer. In fact, what amazes me is you order this from Amazon, and if you've got Amazon Prime, they'll charge you the sales tax on the state you're in, and then the free shipping and handling, and they give it to you in 2 days. And then it'll be printed somewhere near you. I'm in Indiana, and this was printed in Moni, Illinois. But I've had people all over the country, and they're printed all around the country. Amazon prints it out when you order it. They don't have these in stock. This is technology today. You place the order, and Amazon prints it and ships it to you in 2 days. How do they do that? I don't know. How does Amazon Web Services do my tutorial videos as inexpensively as they can? The reason that we are able to give away the free program is because my tutorial videos cost me money, but not very much money, very little money, and therefore I can give that to you and let you use it. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to the practical math and put your student through that, get that. Now, there may be more to it than just that. You do that to start with, and in the next video you'll want to watch, particularly if you have more than one student, or if you have a student that's going to go to college or go into science and engineering, you'll want to watch my next video where I tell you then what the future can hold for you. And it is literally, in my view, mind-blowing, because there's things we can do now. Well, we're already doing things you're seeing that we couldn't have done 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but there's things we could do in the 21st century that you couldn't even dream of doing in the 20th century. And they came to pass. And you'll learn about that on the next video. So this is Craig Hain, or Dr. Dell. I'm extremely excited about all this, as you can tell. It's just a wonderful world we live in today. And there's so much opportunity now for all students. There are literally, I'm told, and I believe it, millions of jobs unfilled because they involve technology and the students can't learn it because they don't know the math. If you put your student through Tier 2, that will then prepare the student to go to a technical school or an apprentice program or the military and learn technical things, because math is like the foundation to learn the technical subjects. You used to have to be able to read and write. That's called literacy. And you still do. You need to learn to read and write. Most schools can handle that. Most homeschoolers can handle that. Math's another matter. Matheracy, knowing the practical math's another matter. And the public schools haven't figured it out yet. Now, I explain all this in a free book that I'll give you, a PDF of it, called The Golden Rule Math for All God's Children. This is something that if you're a homeschool parent, or if you're going to teach your child at home, or if you're a parent that cares about your child, you should get a copy and read this. Then you go to my website and you can get a free PDF, or you can buy it on Amazon. This one on Amazon, I think, sells for $29. I wrote one more recently that I'll share with you called Public School Math is Destroying the USA. Now, that's a strong statement, but what I mean by that is it's not giving our children, our students, the math they need to be successful in the world we live in today. It's not the teacher's fault, by the way. They're victims of it too. It's just that our math education program, which was developed over the last century, isn't teaching today the math we need in the 21st century. And I have a 6-tier program that's doing that, leading the way. And you can take advantage of that. Your child can take advantage of that. Even if they're going to a public school or a private school, can take advantage. You're going to learn more about that in the next video. So be sure to watch the next video. This was video number 7, and video number 8, I'm calling video message 8, is going to talk about then the future for you and what it can be. And it will probably be mind blowing if you're not already familiar with things like Wolfram Alpha and infinitesimals and things like that. So this is Dr. Dell or Craig Hain. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to stop recording it, and I will see you then on the 8th video. And of course, if you're one of my students, I'll see you on lots of videos. Bye-bye.